Come and dream with me.
Hello and welcome to this WDYWW Spoilercast for G.I. Joe, The Rise of Cobra. I'm Ashley Hobley. Joining me, of his own free will, Dylan Blight.
There's a couple times during What You Want to Watch history where I've really regretted you picking what to watch. And this week is one of them. This is one of the worst fucking things you've ever picked.
Alright, please be aware we will be freely discussing anything and everything about the plot themes and ending of this film. So yeah, I haven't watched it. Come back later. It's currently streaming on Stan here in Australia. So let's jump into our discussion of...
Please go first.
G.I. Joe Rise of Cobra. Directed by Stephen Sommers. Screenplay by Stuart, David Elliot, Paul Lovett. Story by Michael B. Gordon, Stuart Beattie, Stephen Sommers. Based on G.I. Joe by Hasbro. Starring Channing Tatum, Marlon, Wayans, Adewale, Akinnuoye-Agbaje, Dennis Quaid, Rachel Nichols, Saïd, Taghmaoui, Ray Park, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Christopher Eccleston, Sienna Miller, Byung-hun Lee, Jonathan Pryce, and Arnold Vosloo. Duke and Ripcord joined an elite military unit, the G.I. Joe, after they were attacked by an evil organization, Cobra. The two, along with G.I. Joe, used next-generation technology to defeat the threat. So I decided this should be the spoiler cast because, of course, Snake Eyes, the film starring Henry Golding, is about to come out in cinemas. I thought, let's go back and watch that G.I. Joe movie from a few years back. It is not good. I don't know when I watched it. Probably like several years after it came out, but it was not a good film. Still not a good film. But it is bonkers. It is going for ideas. It just does not. Well, none of it works. Yeah. It is a mess from start to beginning, start to end. There's a couple of cool through lines, but I think they just kind of waste anything and everything with the G.I. Joe franchise. Obviously, I'm not overly attached to the franchise. Obviously, this is a very American thing. G.I. Joe was a huge action cartoon series. It helped sell toys and that kind of stuff. Seemed like from what I've read, they kind of shat all over the lore and that kind of stuff. Especially regarding Baroness and her being, her whole story and that kind of stuff. But it's a weird one. Very weird one. Dylan, you'd never seen this film before. How did you feel?
Wish I'd left it that way.
What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? What did you give it on Trakt? The number one resource for...
Let me tell you a story. On December 17th, 2017, I gave The Room a score. On February 11th, 2019, I gave Piranha 3DD a certain score. And then on March 8th, 2020, I gave Jack and Jill, starring Adam Sandler, winner of 2 Razzies, a certain score. And then on July 5th, 2021, at 10:47 p.m., I gave my fourth ever score of this on Trakt. And that is a 1. This is my fourth ever 1 on Trakt.
Is that the lowest?
10. That is the lowest score you can go. You cannot give 0. You could unrate it.
But then people would just not know that you...
Yeah. So 1 is the lowest score you can give on Trakt, and this is the 4th film in my history on Trakt that I've deemed a 1. Which I don't know. I think Trakt's rating is like woeful or something like that, or it's got like a sad face. That's how I felt watching this. I felt like I had wasted 2 hours of my life. Not often do I feel like a film is so bad that it's actually taken time out of my life. Because when people watch like 6s and 5s or whatever, and they're like, "Oh, this film's a waste of my time," or like a waste of my life, and I'm like, just get over yourself. This is the 4th time I would say I felt like I have wasted 2 hours of my life watching one of the worst movies I think I've ever seen in my fucking existence. This was boring. This was bad to look at. This had horrible acting. This had atrocious writing. This was the ultimate film to show me and torture me with if you were to capture me and want to get me to do something. It would just be to force me to watch this movie over and over and over again and force me to watch Channing Tatum act in a film he very obviously did not want to be in because he just looked like he was in pain. At several points throughout the movie, I locked eyes with Channing Tatum and he said to me through the screen, I don't want to be here as much as you don't want to be here. And I thought, wow, that's foresight for you to know that I would be watching this movie in 2021 and you'd be filming this in 2008. And then I would lock eyes with you and we would both agree that this is some of the worst moments of our life. Although I feel worse for him because he had to spend months filming this thing. And I just had to waste 2 hours of a night, at which point I paused it 3 times to go do something else for 10 minutes to sort of regain my breath. It was like watching The Irishman, except for instead of having a nicely timed toilet break and then you enjoyed going back to the film, I had to break up this 2 hours over 3 sessions because I was so mind-numbed and mind-fucked that I just had to get a breath and realize that it's okay out there, that there are other movies that exist, there's other TV shows that exist, everything can actually turn out to be okay in the future, the world will not end. I had to, as soon as this was over, I had to go watch a few episodes of Superstore because I wanted to watch something that had laughs in it and joy and would make me feel better about life and things. And I'm okay now. I want you all to know that I'm okay now, but this was fucking torture. This movie, never should anyone have to watch this movie.
It's a bit harsh. Yeah, this is... I mean, yeah, from what I've read, that like Channing Tatum was kind of pushed into doing this project as part of his deal with Paramount. Like,
that adds up.
Yeah, because, yeah, I think this script is... I think you can start with the script. The story is just generally... It's not very good, not very well thought out. I think it's super heavy on the flashbacks. Obviously, the big Duke, Baroness story and them being ex-lovers and that kind of thing. And them trying to set up this, obviously, G.I. Joe world with the origin story of...
Why the fuck do I care about the flashbacks of Snake Eyes and shit as well? Why do I care?
Listen, Snake Eyes is the top G.I. Joe.
He looks stupid.
No,
he's
absolutely. The costuming in this movie is awful. They fucked over Snake Eyes. He looks awful. Why the fuck does he have a mask that makes him... You can see his lips.
That character
Why
from
can you
Red
see
Dwarf.
his lips?
You know from Red Dwarf?
No.
The British show? Space show?
I know of it, never seen it.
I'm looking this up.
Why did they give him a face mask with lips and then also make sure to craft abs on him? That seems very unnecessary. This is meant to be a coolest character, and he looks like shit.
He looked like the character Kryten from Red Dwarf. Is what he looked like. Cryten Red Dwarf is what he reminded me of as I was watching this.
I guess, kind of. But black.
I mean, I didn't say exactly, but that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, it's not good. And then, Channing Tatum obviously doesn't want to be there. And a lot of... It's like, why are these people in here? Poor Christopher Eccleston. He can't pick a role. Post Doctor Who.
Why do you leave Doctor Who to do garbage? I don't want to get locked down into the show for too long, so I'll go fucking being shit.
No, I don't think that's fair. What do you do? I'm sure there's something he's done post Doctor Who that's been worthwhile.
Not for like the few years after he left Doctor Who. It was mostly jank.
Yeah, like none of the movies.
Come on, that's what I'm saying. What did he do? What did he do a few years after
The
this?
Leftovers.
Best
That's
Thor movie.
I would say that's the best thing he's done since.
Yeah, and that was what? 2012?
14.
Oh, there you go.
A decade later.
Come on.
Yep. And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt, what are you doing?
Yeah, what the fuck is he doing in this? I didn't know he was in this. I was like, why are you... Like, I know why he took it. It's because it was a paycheck to play a really weird character and he got to have fun, obviously, because you could tell he was having fun.
Yeah.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt was like, oh, I'm having a great old time. Trying to act off fucking Channing Tatum, who's like, has a scene over again. Oh, the Joe's going to come to get me. Oh, I should have done Step Up 2 instead of this shit.
Wasn't he in Step Up 2?
No, I don't think he was. I think he only did the first one, right? I'm pretty sure I watched all those movies. I'm pretty sure I'm a aficionado.
No, he was a cameo in Step Up 2.
Yeah, there we go. Told you.
There you go.
Question my Step Up knowledge.
And you can definitely, obviously, Stephen Sommers, the director, you can definitely, he was definitely playing on the goodwill of his Mummy films.
Had a director? Is that a director?
Yes, it did have a director. You can see he was attempting to do the same tone as the Mummy films.
As the Mummy?
But, he got it completely wrong. And he didn't have a script that helped in any way. Thus why he had a bunch of actors who appeared in the Mummy. Like Adewale, who was in the Mummy, and obviously Arnold Vosloo in the Mummy. And also a cameo by Brendan Fraser out of nowhere.
He's on like for 3 seconds.
3 minutes.
No, why?
For no reason, apparently. Probably as a favor for, Yeah, and then they've got these weird exosuits, which seem to be the big set piece thing they were going for, which just ended up being stupid.
They were some of the worst things I think I've ever seen that don't make any sense and just look like they weren't even... Have they done a VFX breakdown on this movie yet? Because if not, I may have to suggest it. Because that whole scene looked terrible. Like, and it comes down to that thing I think of discussing about, like, your brain can pick up on small things that just it doesn't go, that's not how, like, reality. That's not how that would work. And I think that's what was happening in that scene. Because I was very much like, this doesn't make I don't understand the reality. Like, you got to give me something. Like, just the way they moved, the way they looked. It was very much like the bike scene at that 60 frames per second in that the Will Smith movie.
The Gemini Man.
Gemini Man. It was like that, but the entire running thing. But they're at 24 frames per second. So.
Yeah, it's weird. And then, they've got the cool underwater base. I'll admit that. That's pretty cool. But, I don't think they utilize it very well. And the whole climax of the film is them destroying this underwater base while Marlon Wayans, who was also in this film, flies a massive, super fast jet across from Russia to America to destroy 2 missiles with nanobots. There's so much to unpack in here, but nothing worth unpacking.
How'd they fix the Eiffel Tower?
They don't. It's just finished. It just fell over.
No wonder.
Maybe they rebuild it. I think that would be like they put out like a GoFundMe or something and put it out. It was all set up for their master plan to replace the president of the United States with one of their own. And then you can see that come to fruition in the average sequel, G.I. Joe Retaliation. Which, Dylan, you definitely need to watch so you can get the full story.
No. I refuse. No.
It's got The Rock.
No.
It's got Bruce Willis.
No.
It's pretty solid. I enjoy that one. Directed by John M. Chu, director of Crazy Rich Asians and In the Heights. Tony, you on it?
This movie is one of the worst things I've watched. And you're trying to tell me to watch its sequel.
All right. If let's discuss the Snake Eyes Storm Shadow thing. which is the only thing that's kind of relevant. Obviously, I think that from what we're seeing of Snake Eyes, the film that's coming out, they've gone in a vastly different direction. In this, they're kind of two kids.
Yeah, but I looked up the cast, and his girlfriend, or whatever her name is in that as well, or whatever.
What, Scarlet? Or Baroness?
What's the Baroness, right? I think.
Yeah, I think it's very much like going to be more of a reboot where...
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's connected to this series at all. Scarlet and the Baroness are both in it, according to IMDb.
Yeah. Even though apparently there's a third G.I. Joe film in the works.
Yeah, so figure that out.
If that ever comes into fruition. But yeah. But yeah, I think actually the Storm Shadow Snake Eyes stuff was probably some of the better stuff that was handled in this. It was like campy, over the top. But those two kids, they had a solid fight. And, Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow had a solid fight. If you just forget about the CGI'd lightning that was all around them. No, nothing of value there.
No, there was nothing there. That was... You know what was happening? It was fucking it gave me fucking whiplash from all the edits. We fucking get out of here.
All right. It was a G.I. Joe film, you know.
Look, I'm not gonna watch the sequel. I'll watch whatever this other one is called. I guess I can watch that.
I mean, you might have to watch a sequel eventually.
Why?
You know, when you eventually lose some sort of predictions bet. You know, it's top of the list now. So you can, enjoy. G.I. Joe can have its redemption, kind of. You can get the full story of what happens with Jonathan Pryce. Arnold Vosloo.
Let me tell you how much I care.
You didn't say anything.
Yes, correct.
So must care a lot. All right. Let us know what you thought of G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra. Did you enjoy it? Did you find anything redeeming? You excited for Snake Eyes? Let us know on Twitter.
Delete your Twitter account if you said yes, you enjoyed it, by the way. Just delete your whole fucking Twitter account. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to know you. Bye.
Explosionero.com/Twitter. You can find all our Twitter handles there, or you can jump to Discord at explosionero.com/Discord. If you want to help us out, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or on Podchaser. Or if you like this episode, enjoyed us, struggled to come up with content about G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, but somehow found...
We talked about this for nearly 20 minutes, Ash! I lost 2 hours, 20 minutes now of my life about this fucking stupid fucking pro-military
If you want to make Dylan feel better about spending this amount of time on G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra, leave us $1 over it. explosionero.com/support. Kofi. Every little bit helps keep Dylan's motivation. Keep him from ending it all. Thank you very much for listening, and until next time, keep watching stuff, I guess.
Watch anything but this.
This might be my favorite Spoilercast that we've done.
Just to clarify, it's my least favorite. So.